Welcome back again, guys. It's my favorite time of the year. Week 1 is about to come around, and that you know what that means. Fantasy Friday.
Fantasy Friday's back.
We're here to help win your fantasy football leagues. Make sure you listen to me, and we got this.
Alrighty. Starting off with the quarterback spot, I want you to start Matthew Stafford. I like their new running back, so I expect him to take the pressure off. And you know Matthew Stafford's a gunslinger. And with Marvin Jones and Golden Tate, I believe, are still on the roster, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Those are two good weapons that we can get the ball to. Matthew Stafford going up against a weaker defense, it's crossing my mind who they played. Eventually it'll come to me, but I know they're playing a little bit of a weaker defense on that defensive side. I expect him to throw for close to 300 yards and 2 touchdowns this week.
Okay. Well, my QB, I want you to start. Save your breath right here, guys. I know what you're going to think, but start Andy Dalton. The Colts haven't had a good defense in who knows how long. So I expect him, and now I know y'all have seen that viral video of John Ross scoring that touchdown, so it looks like he might have a good thing coming right here. Joe Mixon is going to be a threat out the backfield. A.J. Green is going to be the top 5 receiver that he always has. So Andy Dalton has the weapons to succeed this season, and I expect him to definitely succeed against a Colts team that's going to try to get Andrew Luck back in the thing. And if it's same old Andrew Luck, they're going to be given several opportunities because he likes to throw picks. So I expect Andy Dalton to get 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. Big week.
All right.
Big week.
All right, for the sit side, I'm going to go with a guy that you would normally never sit, and that's Big Ben Roethlisberger. He's going against Cleveland, and I know usually last year it was start anybody you got against Cleveland. Well, it's different this year. It is different. This new, like we've talked about before, this new Hard Knocks vibe that they've put in with him, I really think they're scrappy. They're just wanting to hit somebody. It's like it's high school football over again, the Friday Night Lights. They just want to hit somebody. That's all they want to do. And I expect this defense to come out here and put the pressure on Big Ben. I expect this defensive coordinator to really send shots at him. Because if you watch against the Jacksonville game when he threw 5 picks, it was really the pressure that made him throw those picks.
Yeah.
So if we can get the pressure on Big Ben, let's expose him, get our Jabril Peppers, our Denzel Ward. Let's get him a couple picks. Let's get the younger guys going. I expect Big Ben to have a lackluster game this week.
Okay. What have we heard all off season? Oh, wow, the Vikings have made the biggest splash in free agency. They got the missing piece. Kirk Cousins is going to take them to the Super Bowl.
That's what we've heard.
Not so fast. All right, week 1, I want you to sit Kirk Cousins because back there in Washington, he hasn't had these expectations on him this entire time. So we're just going to throw him in the limelight week 1. I expect there to be some kinks. I expect there to be a little bit like get out through the season. So I expect them to start slow week 1 against the San Francisco 49ers. Richard Sherman will be there. Richard Sherman's going to get you a nice pick this week, folks. But as soon as we're going to see what the Vikings get their kinks out. Dalvin Cook's got to get his legs back. It's going to take a minute for the Vikings to get good, and that's an upset for you right there. Niners will beat the Vikings, and Kirk Cousins will have a bad week.
All right, moving on to the running back position. For the start, I want you to start David Johnson from the Cardinals. I know he's coming off that injury, but bear with me. He is still a top 3, top 4 back in fantasy football. Easily. We've got Le'Veon Bell, who turns out isn't going to play week 1, so we cut him out the list. Zeke Elliott's going up against the Carolina Panthers this week. That's a good run defense that he's playing against, so I don't expect him to have the lead. And then we've got Todd Gurley, who's going up against another good opponent, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember who it was. I think it's Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Chargers. That's correct. Okay. And so who's that leave? David Johnson, who's going up against I can't remember who they're going up against either. Wow, it crossed my mind again. But David Johnson is a top back no matter what. I expect him to have at least 30 carries. I expect them to throw him in here earlier, especially with Sam Bradford getting a little used to this offense. I expect them to lean towards him being the star back he is. 30-plus carries, almost 200 yards.
Okay. Well, my start this week's going to be Lamar Miller. This is going to be more injury thing than usual just because so many stars are coming off injuries, honestly. And like that, Deshaun Watson is coming off an injury. So I expect them to more lean on the running game, especially this first week against the Patriots, just to get Deshaun Watson under him a little bit. Maybe we'll get some deep shots in there to Will Fuller and Hopkins as the game goes. But I expect it to be more on Miller to win this game.
All right, for your sit back now, bear with me, Cowboys fans. I'm 1-2, but we got to sit Zeke this week. And the reason is because of that Carolina defense. Luke Kuechly, we know, is going to bring the heat on him. We're missing Travis Frederick already at center. Tyron Smith, we can't even guarantee he's going to be healthy the full game. I mean, really the best lineman we have is Zach Martin still.
And he's coming in there banged up too.
And he's already banged up as is with a shoulder problem, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So, and they have Kawan Short, Starlo Tueli. They've got a good front seven.
Kuechly's coming.
Kuechly is coming. They're going to put the pressure. Thomas Davis is coming. I expect especially the Panthers with Ron Rivera, I expect him to say, okay, this is a banged up offensive line. Bring it. And Dak's not a great quarterback, okay? He's a good but not great quarterback. I'm going to be honest with you. So who do we lean towards? Zeke Elliott. I expect him to get a lot of carries, but I don't expect him to produce a lot of yards out of that.
What you thinking, 8-9 in the box?
I'm expecting them to bring 7-8 in the box at least. I really think that everyone knows, okay, they got to give it to Zeke.
Yep. All right, my sit this week's going to be Derrick Henry for the Titans. It's going to be a tough matchup this week, and I expect him to, especially with that split backfield with Dion Lewis. And the sad thing about the Titans is they're going to get down, and we're going to look at them more for Marcus Mariota to, make plays, and that's going to make room for Dion Lewis to be in there more, not Derrick Henry. Dion Lewis will be the pass-catching back. He'll be, there being third downs, and then so basically Derrick Henry's going to have to break one to get you points this week. So it's going to be interesting to see how his season goes, not just week one from here on out.
All right, moving on to the last position. That's a wide receiver position, and I want you to start Michael Thomas for the Saints. They're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are fighting for a number one pick this year, probably.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Let's just say this: if you got a Saints player, let's just cut this whole video. Start them, okay? There's no more arguments. But on a real note, Mark Ingram's out. So Alvin Kamara is going to be the back there. So they can't really predict who's going to run the ball.
That's true.
So Drew Brees, we know he's an elite Hall of Fame quarterback. And now we know Michael Thomas is a proven receiver. I expect him to just make the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense look silly. I expect him to have a fun game, almost 3 to 4 touchdowns receiving, if you will. I expect him to really, really, really have fun this game, if you will.
Good God. All right, well, here's a surprise for y'all, and I'm going to go ahead and let y'all know. I'm going to go ahead and let you know that the Guru is going to predict this right here. This will be the most picked up guy off of free agency waiver wire after week one, because Mike Williams for the Chargers did not get picked. Yes, this will be his second year coming off an injury himself. With the loss of Hunter Henry, he's going to be a big red zone target. I expect him to catch 2 touchdowns this week. Mike Williams on the other side of Kenyon Allen will have a great day. You will definitely need to pick him up if you haven't already, because you will be sad after week one.
Oh, yes. And for our final, I'm going to say Allen Hurns from the Bears. They're playing this new Packers defense, this new one, I will.
Allen Robinson's on the Bears.
It's Allen Robinson.
Yeah, Allen Robinson.
Look, they're both named Allen, so you can't help it. Allen Hurns is on the Cowboys, that's right.
Yeah.
So Allen Robinson, that's the guy I meant to sit. They're playing the Packers' newfound defense. I expect Jair Alexander, however we're going to pronounce it. And what's the one from
Josh Jackson.
Josh Jackson from Iowa. That's right. We did a video on him. I expect this defense to really lock down week one. I expect them to make a statement week one and say, hey, we might be rookies, but we're not to be messed with. Allen Robinson is not a great receiver, in my opinion, especially behind Mitchell Trubisky, who hasn't proven he's a good quarterback yet. Let's see what the Bears can do. I know they got Khalil Mack. That's going to help the defense, not the offense, okay? So let's just see where they go with this, but I really expect whoever covers him, whichever rookie it is, I expect them to lock him down.
Man. All right. I want you to set Mike Evans this week. It's a lot of Mikes in this video as well, but without Jameis Winston, who loves throwing it his way, Ryan Fitzpatrick is not a great quarterback. The Buccaneers are not a great team, and the Saints are not a good opponent to be playing to have a crappy thing. I expect it to be an L, and Mike Evans will get shut down by Marcus Lattimore. That's all I can say. They're not good. The Buccaneers are not good. Sorry, Bucs fans. Not good.
Not good. Not a good season
Sit
overall. Every
single Buccaneer player you got. Throw them away. You bet Ronald Jones might be your best bet.
All right, guys. That's been week one of Fantasy Friday for you. Make sure you catch Selection Saturday, week one of the NFL Selection Saturday. Make sure you here next week. We might not be able to do as much because we're going to an NFL game ourselves. We're going to watch the Titans. It's going to be our first NFL game. We're going to make sure we vlog that for y'all and get y'all a little bit of inside information what we see when we watch the first real game. But until next time, as always, it's the Gridiron Gurus signing out.